And just because we've talked about painting, I know I drive around town and it seems like I pass a million painting trucks on the road, it seems like, right? And so it would be easy for somebody to think, well, I can't really compete in that industry, or maybe that's not the right industry for me. What are some of the questions somebody should ask themselves if they're thinking about A, getting into business for themselves, and then B, what industry to get into?
Yeah. There's a few things. So one thing that when I was young, I didn't really understand. There's not as much value to having like a unique idea as people think. In fact, that's very risky. Like I used to think that like business meant that I came up with almost like that Shark Tank thing. Like I
Yeah,
developed this new
sure.
toilet plunger
Yeah,
thing or whatever, right? And then that thing blows up. The truth is that's very rare. Most people you meet in business, they invested and they built things in very predictable and in already established markets. It's a way safer way to go. If you're gonna try to come up with some new invention or some new thing, like that's not so easy. It's very risky. The market always changes. And so I think there's an idea for people who aren't in business that they think they have to have some new, unique, creative idea. The truth is you don't. And I think that's one thing. And then the other thing too is talking about like the market and why home services. I'll speak most to that. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of painting companies. There's a lot of handyman. There's a lot of, garage door companies in any market. But what I don't think people understand is that at the end of the day, when you're going to build a business, you're going to have to take market share, right? And one thing that all Americans hate, and we even have laws against it, are monopolies, right? Why? Because it's an unfair advantage for those who own that much market share. In fact, we have laws against it. So what people don't understand is that actually the more fragmented a category, the easier it is for you to break in. And so the fact that you're seeing that many painting vehicles, the fact you're seeing that many garage door companies or handyman businesses or window cleaning companies, whatever it is actually a really good sign that you have an easier way of grabbing your market share because it's not as consolidated. In fact, if you wanted to start a business where you basically have three main players that dominate the entire industry or that entire category, it's really, really, really hard to break in. It can cost a lot of money, and there's no guarantees, and they have a lot more buying power to kind of push you out. And so it's because home services are more fragmented. Actually, even though it doesn't necessarily seem intuitive, it actually makes it easier to break into home services than it is other types of business.